Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. I actually broke my streak. I didn't post something for a couple days when I'm on vacation, and I'm back, and really want to actually start using this streak tracker project, this building streaks website. But we've got one major last piece to get done in order for me to be able to actually use this. So we have this concept of cadence and we have this concept of type done. Um, but what we don't, we've got this concept in the back end at least. But what we don't have is we don't have this concept in the UI at all. And by that I mean there is nothing that, let's actually look at this, weigh yourself. This is once a day. Um, let's add another task and we're going to call this workout, and we're going to just say we're going to do a workout every 2 days. And let's do another thing, and that's we'll say take measurements, right? And we'll say this is once every week, and we'll just say this log goals is once every month. So when we look at this, this is supposed to be once every 2 days, and yet when we look at this, if I complete this, this is really, I have 2 days, but really I should only be having one. So we want to change the UI to look more in line with something like this. So once every day, that's fine. We're still going to have these little marks, but what we don't want to have is we want to have some distinction that shows the cadence in which we're going to do stuff. So we need to break this down into periods. I think breaking this work down, what we can do is we can break this down. So we're still going to allow people to select, but we are going to change the color and the border based off of these categories. So the way I'm thinking about it is the day that this cadence starts is going to start on the day that the task was actually created at. Prior to the task being created, we actually want to just make the category just be gray, essentially. We're just going to have it be, we're going to have it just be quote unquote, we'll just make it this black color. So that's going to be our first step. Let's go ahead and do that first. So let's come in here, and this is going to be our app task list, and this is probably our task list. I see that we have this background here. So task today's completed, and this has the actual task today's completed. So I see this background red, background. Oh, and task today's not completed has that. But what we want to really do is we want to not show any day. Let's see when we're setting this. So anything not completed dates. And we're going to say the date itself. So this is saying if the date is different than the current month, current date selected, if the selected month what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna say if that is less than new date task created, then we're also gonna continue. Let's make sure that we have this created at. Let's make sure that we have created at completions. That looks good. So okay, that's good. So we're not showing, this shows when we have it complete, when we started the day. We are going to allow them to go back in time to edit. All right, so with that, maybe we don't want to have red either. Maybe we want to have, we're going to just do a gray, because maybe this is actually okay. Maybe it's like red we don't want to see, but maybe it's actually, yeah, I guess what we can do is we can actually make them, yeah, I mean, I guess this color is fine. You know, this color is fine. We'll use this black color for now. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to now let's go ahead and draw these borders now. So let's do a demonstration of how these end up actually looking. So if we go to, first off, we know that we're always going to have a top and a bottom border. So let's look at what these borders, I see that we have this border gray, border sky. This is if we're at our current month, I guess. Yes. Okay. Borders gray, border sky. Okay, that looks good. And what we want to do is we're going to actually get rid of some of this. No, so, how are we going to do this? We want to, in some way, denote. I think our colors we're going to actually change. So our background color, we're going to do a little bit more of a subtle color. So we're going to try this 200 instead of, all right, let's try to do 300. All right, so that looks pretty good. What if, all right, we're gonna do 300 for both. And then what we're gonna try to do, we don't mind this little at current month code, I think. Actually, maybe we don't want to have this at all, right? Maybe this current month stuff we can actually just comment out. That's not how you comment this out. What if we just delete it? Delete it out of there. No, we don't want that. Where is this closing? It's really hard to actually tell where this is closing off here. If, no, that doesn't like that. I see that we have this here. Oh, this is all part of this one class name. Oh my gosh, that's really large. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to just take this away. Okay, so that removes the borders. That's fine. And now what we want to do is the biggest difference in our borders is we don't want to show our middle border. We don't want to show this middle border. I think that's the biggest change. So if we did something like, so we have this border 2. What is this? How do we do a border right 0? Okay, because normally it's border R. Okay, so we see this border 2. And so this is saying this days and month thing. We're also going to say this day mod 2 is equal to 0 or that. We're going to make it like this. Okay, so that took away that guy. Okay. That took away that border entirely. Let's do one of these. Okay, this has got to go here. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty boring video, it seems like, I know, but this is sometimes what some of these requirements become. So let's see, what about border L0? All right, so this is actually what we want. So it's the left border that we're gonna remove occasionally, and that's what's going on here. So we're occasionally this is exactly how we can already see how we're going to sometimes be doing that. So this is a left border. We always want to show first, so if day is equal to 0, then we always are going to have. So I'll say if day is equal to 0, border left 2. We're always doing that. If day is not equal 0, then we'll go to 0. Okay. So now, and day mod 2 is equal to 0. All right, so this is kind of like the type of cadence we want. So now we need to have a function that allows us to take in, so this, we don't need the API. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the bounding box of the cadence. So we're going to figure out the days in which the cadence is done. So what we can do actually, so some of our cadences are pretty easy. So like if it's a month, then it's always the leftmost box. So what we'll actually do is this. We're going to say function should start day of cadence. So this is what we're gonna say. And then we're gonna take in a task. we're going to take in a date, and this is going to return a true for now. Start day of cadence. Oh, we're going to call this is start day of cadence. Yeah, so this actually looks fine. So this is task to days completed. We're going to actually have another new thing, and this is going to be task to start days of cadence. This is going to be a map. This is going to be, yeah, it's going to be, yeah, that's actually fine. And so this is going over those days in the month. And this is saying if the start month is if the date is bigger than our current date, then don't even do anything. This is saying if the date is lower than our current thing, then don't do anything. That's good. And this is days task is completed. That's fine. What we're also going to do, let's see what this would do. Is this, yeah, selected, and we are going to we'll have that, and we'll add in our I, and then we don't have to have this start at all. So it's this or new set. Then we're going to add our day, and then we are going to set our time, just like this. Okay, so right now we're saying it's true at all times. Now we're going to say we're going to do one of these numbers. So this is keys map the day. So let's just see something here. Task to start days of cadence, and then we're going to turn off. And let's see. So we're always returning true. And let's go ahead and log out our task. You know what we'll do is, this is how we're going to add this. So we're always going to return true, but if task.cadence.period is week, actually if it's day, we'll do that. Else if it's a week, this is not what we want. If it's a week, we want to only say check if date is on a Monday. Okay. Let's make sure get day is first day of the week, 0. Okay. Else if task.cadence is a month, if the date is 1. I think that looks okay to me. Another thing we want to consider is we actually do want to show the cadences in the future, but we don't want to show them in the past. So what we can actually do is take this code out, and we will put this in its own little for block. Okay, so we see there's obviously a problem here. We do see this coming up. So is it a start day of cadence? We can see that it's saying, oh, okay. This is interesting. Is start day of cadence? We are saying if the date is not equal to 1, well, this doesn't make much sense. This is backwards of what we would expect, honestly. If, yeah, this seems backwards to me. Let's make sure. Are we calling this anywhere? Task to start days. Let's just log these out. Let's just go ahead and log these guys out. And let's look. So we have a map of size 5. And we are saying that on the 4th, excuse me, let's see, how are we using this? So if, yes, so we want to show the border. We do not want to show the border. So if the day does not equal 0, if the day does not equal 0, or we do not have the start of the finish. Okay, so this actually already is looking good. And the cool thing is we can put that in there, and that shows up like that. Okay, so that actually looks good. Now our daily list is what we're also having problems with. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say days, we're going to say start days, let's think. Yeah, so we're going to say, so days since start. Let's see what this says. Okay, that seems fine. And then we're going to do, I think that actually looks good. So we started this task. We said this started today. So this is the other interesting thing. We created this workout task, I believe, today. So let's go ahead and verify in our database. I think we made this today. Yeah, we made this on, oh yeah, 3/5 technically. We actually started it this day, which is weird, but I guess technically in the database it shows as starting a day ahead of when the user's actual time, I guess, because this is UTC. So I wonder if we can take this and convert the date into our user's time zone. Let's see. So let's go ahead and convert to user's time zone. Let's do this. Date to time zone. User's time zone. All right, so this is how we're gonna do this. We're just gonna go ahead and return that guy, and we're gonna say this, and we're gonna see if ChatGPT just handled this for us, and if not, then we are not going to get time zone offset. Date. Okay, this does not look like it works still, which is not the worst thing. I mean, honestly, let's not even worry about this then. Let's just revert all the way back, and we can log this as a bug. And that's exactly what we'll do. Okay. Yeah, actually, let's make one other task, and let's say run once every 3 days. So it's pretending it starts here, and that's good. Okay, so that's good. Let's go ahead and log a bug. So we'll say bug cadence / UI borders is not displaying on the correct is not taking into account a user's time zone. For instance, when you create a task, it thinks the task was created in the future instead of the future / DB time zone / I think it's probably UTC. Okay, but anyways, so the cool thing is these borders are correct. Now what we want to do is we actually want to see, we want these to be really green still if they're done. But what we also want to do is we want to color this entire background as also completed. So let's actually jump into that. And so, yeah, we're going to say function has cadence completed. This is going to be very similar to the logic in our other to our other logic. So has cadence completed, and we're going to take very similar to this. We are not, let's go ahead and what we'll do is we're going to just pretend we completed this guy, and we're going to see how we want this to actually end up showing up for us. And then we'll do the others. So we'll just say return false and return false. Okay, so is task day's task is completed, but and then what we're also going to show is yeah, day's task is completed. We're going to also do day's task cadence. Yeah, so task to days task to day. Okay, we're going to keep this, and then we're going to do task to day cadence completed, and it's the inverse on the opposite side. So this guy is here. Task day's task cadence is completed. This is going to be very similar to this guy. Okay, so what we're doing in this function is, if we're not in the year or month, so are we iterating? We're not going to actually do this logic here. So we're going to remove this guy entirely. So day's task cadence is completed. So what we're going to do is we're going to iterate over the amount of days in the month by, let's save here. How do we have the days in month here? Okay. So we are going to, yeah, we have this completed days, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get this days and month logic. Looks like we're not even using this, and that we probably are. So we're here. Oh, you know what we'll do is we'll just pass this in. Days in month. Number. So this will be days in month. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to iterate over this. And this is going to be pretty simple. So we have these completed days. And we are very simply going to pass in so we're also going to need the selected day. So maybe we should move this function in. Maybe we will actually keep that same function inside with our state. So completed days, what we're going to do is we are going to send over, so let's say days task is completed. We are going to iterate over the days in the week. So for const I, or actually we're going to do a for let I equals 1, I is less than or equal to days in the month, I plus plus. We are going to say is cadence completed, and we have a function here. We have a date. This is going to take in our task, and then we're going to have a date selected month, year, selected month, and then the I, that looks good. If is cadence complete, we're gonna add the I. So now within, this isn't being used at all. That's fine, let's get rid of unused. So has the cadence completed? So let's just do this for the month only first, and then we will bring it up to the week, and then we'll come back to the day. Has there been something done? Have we done a task for a month? How do we know? Well, we take our current month, we go to the time range, and then we find if some. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find the border of our range. So we are going to get, we'll say, beginning of month is equal to the date okay, just like that. The end of month is equal to that, and then we're going to say we're going to return find if there, yes, exactly. So task.find, or it's task.completions.find so if the completion date is greater than the beginning month, and yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now if we refresh, the other thing we want to do is, this is a month-long goal, it looks like. Yeah, so this is a month-long goal, and what we want to do is, we have this background. So task to days completed, we actually want this to, so we're going to do this other, we're going to do task to day cadence completed. So that shows up the entire thing, and we want the completed days to be 500. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and do, we want this to, maybe our hover state, we want to be a little bit more. All right, so there we go. Oh, maybe days completed, is it opposite right now? Days, task to days completed. Let's go ahead and log this out. So let's go ahead and refresh. And we see this here. We see that every day we definitely want, oh, we want this guy to be overriding everything else here. So delete. We want that 500. So let's look at this task to days completed thing. And specifically, we are trying to find this log goals guy. So on the, we know they're all done. Okay, so we can see that it's, let's get rid of this guy too, so we know that we're looking at this right thing. Okay, so we know there's nothing in here, and then we're going to click the second. We see this all showing up now. So we see that it's on number 4, and if we come here, we see it's set for all of them. So let's see, perhaps we are putting it on. Maybe we just need to not log this out. Task to start days of cadence. Maybe we want to, we're putting this, let's just go ahead and not put this 300 maybe. If this wasn't here, let's just remove this for a second. Okay, we see that that is there like that. All right, so I think we can just leave this as is like that. I think that looks good. Console.log, maybe our eyes just weren't showing us the difference between the 300 and the 500. They were just very hard to see. Okay, so that looks okay. I mean, I won't say it looks amazing or anything like that. We do need to get this working though for our week-long thing. So let's do the week. Start of week. Get date. That doesn't seem, oh, I guess that does look okay. End of week, and then is it gonna, yeah, that looks okay too. So let's go ahead and put this guy here. So the start of week is there. We want our start of week to technically begin on Monday. And so we're gonna just do a +1 and a +1 like that. So we want to +1, and then this is gonna be +7. Start of week. I wonder if this is another one of our time zone problems. Okay, let's see what this is doing. Get day. The day of the week where 0 represents Sunday. So let's just think. So really technically we want this with 0 represents Sunday. Maybe this is actually an extra -1. The start of the week is equal to if our current day is integer, so that's if we're on, let's just think about what this is doing really quick. So we're on the 4th, and let's make sure too, we're gonna log off console.log start of week, just to make sure that this makes sense. So the start of the week is the 4th. That looks good. Which is interesting because it says that the 3rd, if the start of the, yeah, so this looks fine. This is just off for some reason. So if our start of the week, so if the completion date completed at is greater than or equal to that and less than the end of the week, what if I put this to 8? Does that move that up more? It's really interesting that it's not doing that. What if I did 10? That's interesting that it's not moving that. What if I did 5? What if I did 3? Interesting. So it always, this end of week doesn't seem to be mattering at all. Task completion date. Yeah, this is really funky. What if it's just 1? This doesn't make any sense. How could something be both greater than or equal to and less than or equal to? Which makes me feel that. So this is start, this is end. Let's do end of week, and let's see what we're getting here. Well, when it was +7, so our start should be on the 4th, and our end should be on the 11th. So 4 and 10. 4 and 10. I don't know if that makes much sense to me. What if this is, so 4 and 11. So it's beginning of the day and then the end of the day. So this makes sense to me now, because this is the beginning of the next day. So how could this item here, completion date, how could this be what it is? And let's go ahead and log off. In theory, this should be going up one at a time, right? So let's refresh. We should see, and let's go to where it's like the 4. Start of the week, let's go to where it's 4. So March 4th to March 11th, and I don't see any completions at all, which is interesting. Maybe what we can do is we can just log this guy out. All right. Completed at. Are we using, yes. It was completed on the 4th at that time exactly. Just to make sure, yes, okay. And all right, so these are all the same time. Wonder how. So let's not log this off. And what we'll do is we will just log this guy out. So is this ever true? That's always false apparently. Okay, new date completed at. This is true on 9 days and false on the rest. How about this? Okay, so we just get a bunch of, is it less than the end of the week? We get a true, 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 true. Okay. Still not seeing anything on. This is probably what I get for trying to use ChatGPT for this. Let's just start go GitHub Copilot. Let's go ahead and do some more searching here. Okay, how to check if one date is above another date in TypeScript. Okay. So if it's less than it's okay, that looks correct. The time component is also considered. Yes, of course. So how in the world is this a 0? Has Cadence completed? So if let's just, I mean, we can log this out one more time, and what we're going to do is completed. We're going to store this guy. If completed, then we're going to log stuff out. All right, and for some reason we got logged out. All right, so we have the start of the week. Yeah, we're doing the start of the week, the 4th. Okay, that makes sense. The only times that okay, up here is a little bit different. This has the start of the week on Monday, February 26th. And that is wrong. March 4th. And this is being completed even though, let's actually put the item that's actually saying that is completed. Let's go back in time to make sure to, We still see this guy here showing up before he should be. But let's go ahead and look. So this is saying, let's come all the way to the top of our logs. We have this time range, and it's saying that we have something completed, and this completed at time is right at the start of the hour. This is very interesting. I see this -5, and this is also -5. We are right at the cutoff. Our completed doesn't actually have a time range, which is very curious. So we've completed it on this day. I suppose we need to have, if this is technically not on our week, so this needs to be a not less than. Okay, so now this makes sense. We're not going back and doing the others. Okay. Now the question is, why are these indexes wrong, seemingly? Let's do 9. That makes it go back. So this pushes it up. So why is it on this day but not this day? Okay. So the end of the week is there, and we're trying to say, is there a completion done? Oh, the start of the week starts on Sunday. So if we are at Sunday, so it's this is equal to, so if it is 7, we need to actually go back. So if our current day, we're gonna call this the we're gonna say, if it's Sunday, is Sunday. So if it's Sunday, we're gonna minus by 7. Else we are going to minus by the date itself. So I'm going to subtract by 7, and we're going to do that everywhere. Let's see what this does. Okay, so that pushes that day, but we want to push this day up as well. So in order to do that, we need to, this is actually looking at the end of the week, and we have to remember, is this 7 here? No. So the start of the week is, so why is the 3rd showing up? The start of the week should be the 4th. Let's think high level. The start of the week is the 4th, right? When is the start of this week? The start of the week, this is now saying on March 2nd. Really, this end of the week should just be 7 days. So really, this should just be start of the week. Okay, that looks good. Okay, yeah. So Monday to Sunday. Perfect. Yeah, our end of this logic is really funny. So, okay, so this looks pretty good now. What I'm gonna do is let's pretend. Okay, so that looks good. If I take this away, that removes the entire block. Let's think about okay, we're gonna add one more thing to this, and that's gonna be our daily cadences. And then from there, we are gonna, in this video as a part one, and then we're gonna try to do these in another video. So let's go ahead, let's return this guy. So we're gonna do const start of cadence. This is going to be an interesting one too, because this is very, yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting to think about. I guess what we can do is, if it's not the start day of the cadence, we can start day of cadence. It has to be the first start day of the cadence. So let's just say this. We can use this function here. We can use this function here to get the start, and then we add in the cadence itself. So we'll get, and so if it's not the start of the cadence, we'll loop back. So we've got this guy here, start and end, days and start. So let's just go ahead and we're gonna do a while let days, I guess we could just do this whole thing in a do while. So do the following while maybe we don't want to do that. All right, let's just think about what we're doing up here. We are we're gonna do days since start, task created, we have this date. Okay, that actually looks good. Okay, I think we can wrap this in a do while. Do if, actually, we can just wrap this whole thing in a while. While, no. We're gonna do day since start, while true. We'll do this. We'll do a let I equals 0 while I is less than 7. I plus plus. We're gonna break out, and let's do go to previous day, date, to set date return on the instance. Yes, so we want to just do that. Okay, so okay, let's talk about what we have here. Okay, we have the cadence. What we're trying to do is find when the start date is equal to whenever we have the current date. What we're going to do is we are going to actually we want to know when the start of that cadence is. And we're just going to, if it's not the start of the cadence, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the previous day and then check it again. And we're going to go to the previous day until we get to the cadence. This 7 is because we can only do something once every 7 days. Okay, so now we have the start of cadence is just equal to the date. It's not even this +1. I think we're just going to just say it's the date. All right. And then the end of cadence is equal to new date and then we want to add we'll say this, but that's not what we actually want. But you actually want this to go to task.cadence.value. So that's the end of the cadence. And then we are going to do this very similar logic here. And this, so that's the end of the cadence. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in. I do think we are going to have to add some extra logic because this isn't going to make a ton of sense in terms of, in fact, okay, so if I add this here, okay, that looks good. If I delete this, what if I do here? Okay, that I delete, okay. What if I say, we're gonna do a test 3 days. Okay, here, I have a 3-dayer. Complete that looks good. If I complete this, that looks good. All right, so this actually looks pretty solid right now. Okay, so yeah, actually this ended up working fine. All right, so we actually have a ton of logic in the front end. Probably not the best, but I think we're gonna live with it now. In our next video, what we're going to do is we're gonna come back for a part 2. We're gonna work on the current/best streaks. We're gonna get these done, make sure that these numbers are calculated correctly. I know this is a really long video. Let's make sure that this works. Okay, completed, that looks good. Okay, so these also still look good. But yeah, we're gonna get these numbers working based on the cadence and everything like that. What we're also gonna do is we are going to log another bug. Should not hover/allow clicking on dates in the future. So we're gonna fix that. But yeah, we'll get these currents done, and I think we'll revisit this UI as well. I'm not sure if I'm sold on like these color schemes and stuff like that. So we'll revisit that, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking with me. I know this was a long one.